We're starting our very last partial. That means we've gotten rid of all our old verses except one, okay? And then we only have about 9 more weeks to school, and then you're done with kinder and ready for first grade, okay? But before we start our lesson today, let's pray, okay? Father, thank you for your goodness, and each one of our students help us to have a good day today. We ask in Jesus' name, amen. Okay, we're going to keep working on this song we started last week because this is such a cool song and we have something special to do with it. Now, when we sing this song, and you're in kindergarten, we use maracas. Now, maybe some of you have seen this. This is called a gourd. Actually, it used to be a plant, this part here. It used to be a plant. It did. It has little seeds in there. And we use it for our song that we started last time. But you probably don't have one in your house, a maraca. But that's okay, because you can make one really easy, okay? See? I've got one right here. Okay, what do you need? Need a bottle. Now, mine looks kind of dirty because I put dirty rocks in it. Okay, you need a bottle. You clean it out, right? Get all the crud out. Then you put just a little bit of either rice or beans. Oops, see, just a little bit. A little bit of rice or beans in it, okay? Not a whole lot, or it'll be super, super loud, okay? So you just take them. What do? You put them in your bottle, right? And then, what do? You can shake it. But you can't hold it down here where the rocks are. It doesn't give a good sound. You have to hold it and let the rocks down here, okay? Or your rice or whatever you're going to put in, okay? But when we sing our song, there's a rhythm that goes to it. It goes like this. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. Boom, boom, boom. So here's what we're going to do. Today, since you don't have a maraca, we're going to clap it out, okay? So you get the beat, and then maybe your mama can find a bottle or something around the house and put something in it for you, okay? But this is how it goes. 1, 2, and 1. Bum, 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 bum. We count it 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. Every song has a beat, like we learned with tu bandera, es un lampo de cielo. Woo! Right? We learned that. Every song has a beat, a steady beat. Well, our song today goes like this. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children worship when they gather. They sing my praise and they learn my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children sing my praise and they learn my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. Bum, 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 bum. So we do it like this. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children worship when they gather. They sing my praise and they sing my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children sing my praise and they sing my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. And that's how we do it, okay? It goes 1, See that? Okay, let's try one more time. Ready? Can you count with me? 1. You can clap with me. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. Bum, 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 bum. Hear the beat? Okay, ready? We're going to say it one more time. Ready? You clap with me, okay? See if you can get the beat. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children worship when they go there. They sing my praise and they learn my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children sing my praise and they learn my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. Woo! Okay, that's last week's verse. This week's verse is a good verse. It's found in Luke 22:42. It is, not my will, but thine be done. And this is going to be in our story on the end of the week. On Thursday and Friday, this verse will be. We'll learn this verse, the story that this verse comes from. Oh, no. It'll be Tuesday and Wednesday's story. Not my will, but thine be done. And Jesus prayed this. He said, God, I don't want to die. I don't want to be crucified on that cross. Dying wasn't a big deal, but being crucified, that was really bad. And he cried. He didn't want it. He said, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. Because he knew what it would be, and he didn't want that. But he said, but not what I want, but what you want. We have a song to go with this. Love this song. Ready? Here's how it goes. Not my will, but thine be done. Not my will, but thine be done. Help me, Lord, to obey thy word in every way. Not my will, but thine be done. Okay, we're going to sing it. We're going to sing it another time. Okay, ready? Not my will, but thine be done. Not my will, but thine be done. Help me, Lord, to obey thy word in every way. Not my will, but thine be done. Right? A lot of times there are things we don't want to do, but we do them because they're the right thing to do. Let's say our verse 3 times. Not my will, but thine be done. Not my will, but thine be done. Not my will, but thine be done. Our story today, so remember we said Jesus went to Jerusalem for the special holy day of Passover. It's the most important holy day of the whole year. And what they had to do is they had to kill an animal, and then they had a special feast, and it reminded them of something that happened many, many years ago when God had saved his people. But that animal died so that the people could be free. And so every year they did that as to remember how God had saved them. And we're not going to go into that. We'll get that story next year when you're in first grade, okay? But it was time for that special holy day. And so Jesus talked to 2 of his disciples. He said, I want you to go into the village, and you're going to see a man carrying a water jug. Now, usually men did not do that. That was ladies' work. Because you're going to see a man. Go follow him to the house where he goes. And go to the house and tell this man, the master is ready to fix his dinner, and he wants to use your room. So they went into town. Sure enough, they saw a man, and they went and they said, the master asked to use your room for the Passover. He said, come in, I will show you. So the men went there, and they started getting things ready. And they got everything ready. And that night, they killed their lamb. And they had this special dinner. And during that special dinner, Jesus took the cup of grape juice that they used for their special feast. And they had some bread. And during the feast, they would take this bread and pass it around to remind them about how their life had been very, very hard before. But Jesus said, this bread, I want you to remember it for something else, because my body is going to be broken. Just like we break this bread, my body's going to be broken for you. The disciples didn't understand what he was saying, but he took the bread, broke off a piece, and gave it to his disciples, and then they passed it around, and everybody pulled a piece off of it. They didn't understand what it meant. And then he took the cup of grape juice that every year at the feast, they had this to remember about the animal's blood that was shed, and how they had taken the animal's blood and painted it on their doors, because that's what God told them to do. And he said, this blood, this cup, reminds you of the blood. My blood's going to be shed for you. My blood's going to be shed for you. But they didn't understand it. Took a drink, and he said, drink all of it. They passed around. And the last person that got to the bottom of the cup, the grape juice back then wasn't very good, and the stuff at the bottom was really nasty and bitter. And the person that got the end of it, but it was to remind them that their life was very bitter because of sin. And then after they finished the meal, Jesus went and he poured a bowl of water, and he took a towel, and he went around to the disciples one by one and started washing their feet. Normally you do that before your meal, because they were out in the dirty streets where animals walked. The people had their donkeys and all the animals, especially this time of year, people were bringing animals in for sacrifices. And the streets were dirty with mud and poop and pee and all sorts of stuff in the ends. Really nasty. So before you would have a dinner, you'd wash your feet. But if you were really nice, you would have one of your servants do that for your guests. But the men that night, they hadn't bothered to do that before they came to their meal. So Jesus took a break, and he went around and he started washing their feet. He said, you don't understand what I'm doing, but I want you to pay attention. Because during the meal, the men had been arguing about who was more important. Oh no, I'm more important, and I'm going to be more important. When we're in heaven, I'm going to be more important than you. Oh no, I'm more important. I'm going to be. Jesus heard them, but he didn't pay attention to it. But as he was washing their feet, he said, listen, if I am your master, and he was their leader, he said, if I can humble myself and wash your feet, you need to learn to do that for each other. You should never feel like you're more important than other people. And when he got to Peter said, oh, no, Lord, you are not washing my feet. No, you are the master. You don't wash my feet. Because the most important person would never wash the feet of somebody the person that was not important washed the important person. Peter said, no, you're not going to do it. Jesus said, you don't understand what I'm doing. I need to wash your feet. And if I don't wash your feet, you can't be part of me. And Peter said, well, if that's the case, wash all of me. Give me my head, my hands, all of me. She said, no. Don't understand. If you're washed, if you've taken a bath, we just need to wash your feet because they've been out in the street. What was Jesus telling them? Jesus was saying, listen, we all think we're important, but we're not. We shouldn't think that we're more important than other people. And when there's nasty work to do, what do? You do it. Don't think that you're too important to do nasty work. That was the nastiest job in that day, to wash somebody's feet. And Jesus was the most important person in that room. But what he wanted to show his disciples was that if you've asked Jesus to be your Savior, then he's washed your heart white as snow, hasn't he? But are you still going to sin every day? Yep, you do. You mess up every day. I mess up every day, and I have to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry again. I messed up again. I am so sorry. I keep messing up. And what do? We say, I'm sorry, right? And what do? Then we make things clean, right? We tell God we're sorry. We tell the people we're sorry, right? Because what do? We sin each day. Do we have to ask Jesus to save us from our sins again? To what? No, we don't have to ask him. No, once we're God's child, we're always his child. We just have to wash our feet, right? You go out and you get messed up. You wash your hands, you wash your feet, right? You go out and play. Your feet all get dirty and your chancletas, right? Right? Your hands get dirty, your face gets dirty, you just wash them. You don't have to go get a bath before you eat, right? You just go wash your hands. When we sin, if we're already God's child, we just have to say, sorry, God, please forgive me. And he washes us clean again. But we need to do that, what? Every day, right? Just like you need to bathe every day so you don't stink. We do that. Well, after that, they went back and they sat down at the table. And while they were there, and they were eating some more, and Jesus said, one of you is going to betray me. And what he meant by that was, remember the leaders that hated Jesus and they wanted to kill him? Well, one of his men right there at the table was going to help the men kill Jesus. And all the men was like, no way, not me, man, no way. Not me, I wouldn't do that, no way. And John was kind of leaning up against him, and John said, who is it, Lord? Who is it? Jesus took a piece of bread and he dipped it in the sauce. He said, the person I give this to is the one that's going to betray me. He took the sauce and gave it to Judas. And he said, what you're about to do, go do it. Now, nobody else but John knew what Jesus had said. And nobody knew why Jesus said to Judas, whatever you're going to go do it. Nobody knew what that meant. They thought, oh, he has to go out and buy something we forgot to buy for the feast or something. Maybe he's going to give some money to somebody that's poor. But Judas went out. There he went. Judas was a thief. He loved money more than anything. And he was the one that carried the money bag for the people would give them money to help poor or for their food or whatever. He was the one that carried that bag, but he used to steal out that bag because he was a thief. Well, he went out that night. And you know what he did? While they were all having their dinner, he went to the Pharisees. And he said, you want Jesus? I can tell you how to find him. I can tell where to find him. They said, really? What do you give me? 30 pieces of silver. Okay. He said, every night he goes to the Garden of Gethsemane. That's where he's staying. And you can get him there at nighttime. And nobody's there but him and his disciples. You can find him there. And that way you can catch him there. They gave him money and he left. That's where we're going to stop our story today. We're not going to finish it up till after Semana Santa. Semana Santa, we have a whole week, and the last day of Semana Santa is what we celebrate when Jesus died on the cross and he rose out of the grave, and we're not going to get to that story till we come back. I wanted to do it before, but it didn't work. So we'll hear the rest of the story, what happens to Jesus when we come back. Our verse is, my house shall be called the house of prayer, right? When we go to God's house, we worship. And during Semana Santa, you might go to church, and they might have special things for the Sunday service. And they might have special things for children to celebrate the holiday. But what do you need to remember? It's not a time to go and get candy. It's not a time to go get stuff or go eat. It's a time to go and worship God, right? And when you go, you need to listen to the pastor. So you learn the story of what it is all about. So when we come back after Semana Santa, you'll hear the story again, and you will already know what the story is all about. So if you get to go to the culto, for Semana Santa. What do you need to do? Sit there, listen quietly. Don't get up and go to the bathroom. Don't play with toys. Don't read books. You sit and you listen and you worship God, right? Okay, here's our song. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children worship when they go there. They sing my praise and they learn my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My house shall be called the house of prayer. My children sing my praise and they learn my word to help them walk in the fear of the Lord. Okay, my house shall be called the house of prayer. One more time. My house shall be called the house of prayer.